Hello. It's working. Okay, let's get through the awkward phase of the beginning of each presentation. Hi, everyone. Thank you, Horatio team. This is so great to be here. First time for the Siena team. I have 3 Siena members with me here, and I'm so grateful to be doing this together. And I was so excited to meet everyone in person and spend some one-to-one time since Saturday. And yeah, I'm excited for the next few days together and getting to know everyone. But I also am super excited to spend some time chatting with Cate and Michael, which have been 2 of our earliest, I would say, adopters. And I'm sure that they will have amazing, actionable insights for you guys. And they will walk us through their thought process throughout their entire journey with AI and just going beyond what AI in CX kind of like is marketed to do today. So we're gonna tap into a lot of cool topics. I will quickly give a quick introduction on myself and Siena, and then would love to hear from you guys. So I'm Lisa, one of the co-founders and president at Siena. We are an empathic AI agent that helps brands like Terra Kaffe, HexClad, 8Sleep, Memento Supplements handle customer experience and scale customer experience more efficiently in the most human way possible. We actually, I think next month, Siena will turn 2 years old since I posted the first LinkedIn announcement about us. So that's exciting. Time flies. And yeah, I would love to start our chat. It's just gonna be super casual at the end. Please prepare your questions. Would love to answer anything that is on your mind regarding AI or CX or just customer service in general. We've been in this field for a long time. Personally, my co-founder Andre and we've been in e-commerce for like 10 years. We actually started as Shopify merchants, so we know how challenging it can be to run a customer service organization and all the ups and downs that comes with it. And I think our journey and our learnings from actually operating a customer service team and having gone through all of those stages kind of led us to wanting to build better customer experiences. So yeah, let's dive in. Maybe we can start with Cate. Would love to learn more about your journey. Like, how did you end up in CX? And let us know a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, first of all, for having me. This has been amazing. This is my first time at the Client Summit, and honestly, I've been like dodging out of the room to go spend time with my team a lot of today because it's so special to get to see them in person. But I'm Cate Marques. I am the Chief Experience Officer at Terra Kaffe. I was the first hire, and I think that speaks a lot to the importance that we place on the customer at Terra Kaffe. And it's been a wild ride. I've been with the company about 5 years now and have seen a tremendous amount of growth during that time. But one of the huge, I think, evolutionary shifts that we've experienced has been within the past year and a half. Prior to that, we were all human agents, all located in New York. And within the last year or so, we have diversified that. Now Siena handles a ton of our volume, but we've also brought on our Horatio team, which has been an incredible, business move first and foremost, but also I think has really taken our CX to the next level. And the way I got into CX was kind of circuitous. I think that is the case for a lot of us. I've been in early stage startups for a while. It's where I really found my home. I did client-facing project management and client services and kind of fell into Terra Kaffe. I make coffee machines for a living, so it fuels my addiction for sure, but I've realized...
Sorry, Cate, how many coffees did you have today?
Oh my... She's throwing me under the bus. Yeah, if anybody wants to try out our machines, they're over by where my team's sitting. You can have some coffee from there too. But, I found my home in CX, I think, because where my passion lies is in taking community insights and feeding them back into our product team to really drive what we're going to build next. If we're not building for our customer, what are we doing? So, it's been really cool to see, I think, how Siena and how our Horatio team play into that on a daily basis. And I'm looking forward to chatting more.
Thank you. What about you, Michael?
So I'm Michael, head of customer service for HexClad Cookware. We're a hybrid cookware company that a lot of you know of us because of our connection with Gordon Ramsay. Or maybe a Super Bowl ad that we just ran. I don't know what.
It was so good.
But I've been in customer service for a little over 15 years now. Like some of us in the room, I started as a incoming phone representative for an automotive company, and then I went into technology, and then beauty, and now I'm selling cookware. And so my brother-in-law makes fun of me because I go from this glamorous company of like Hulu, and now I'm selling cookware. But I love it. I wouldn't change anything about it. I've been with HexClad for coming on 3 years now. And we love pushing the envelope when it comes to building great experiences, and Siena helps us do that.
But the question is, do you cook?
I do, if I have to. But my wife does a lot of the cooking at home, and yeah.
All right.
Great at it.
We'll ask for proof later. All right. So my first question to you is about how do we treat customer experience? I think we all know that a lot of the businesses out there are still treating customer experience as a cost center. So I'm curious, how do you view it as a growth driver or revenue generator? Because I know you are amongst the ones that actually treat it this way, which is highly appreciated.
All right. Yeah, so we had an offsite last year with our management team, and we very intentionally changed the way that we phrase customer experience. We've now rebranded it as community experience because it's our community, I think, that makes up who we are as a brand, and that doesn't just include our customers. Customers are always going to be, the biggest slice of the pie, but it's also prospective customers, it's ex-customers, it's investors, it's business partners, it's Siena, it's Horatio, it's everybody that I think has an impact on our brands. And I've been in companies before, and we've heard it a million times, right? Customer experience can be just treated as a cost center, and I think it's very easy to think of it that way, but it's also very lazy, and it leaves so much on the table. We're a largely D2C company. We have some retailers, but for us, we're building a physical product. I work in complex hardware, creating a product that people use every single day. I mean, I'm not a surgeon. I don't save lives, but you would never know it from our customers. And I think it's a mistake to just think that, all right, customer service is a necessary evil. We have to pay to just kind of get our customers off our backs. But the reality is that I want to hear about every experience our customers have. As much as I love hearing about the love that they have for the brands and the coffees that they're enjoying, I want to hear the negative experiences. First of all, I want that coming at me. I'd rather it come at me than go on Reddit, go on a Google review, go on just negative word of mouth. But more importantly, I think it teaches us where we need to step up and improve our processes and our product. We launched our V2 machine just about a year ago. There's not a thing on that machine that is not the direct result of what customers told us they want. And, that's reflected, I think, in the anticipation and the high adoption rate of the product, because it should, in my opinion, just be a feedback loop between community and product. Community informs what product builds next. We build the product, it goes out into the community, and that's how you create, this beautiful flywheel effect that can make or break your business.
Yeah, and for us at HexClad, I might be one of the rare people that say customer service is a cost center, because it could cost your business if you don't do it right? And for us, what we found was we looked at customer data and saw that customers that we had engaged with, and I apologize for those that were in my breakout group, I've already given this stat already, but we found that customers that engaged with our support team on average had an LTV that was 20% higher than customers that never engaged with our brand at all. Made a purchase, made one or two purchases, and never engaged with our brand, right? And so we know for a fact that what we're doing in customer service is actually driving measurable, actionable sales. So we know that it's driving revenue back to the business. We, like Cate, also feel like my biggest fear is the customer that never talks to us at all and just leaves us. I used to think when I was first working at this automotive company that I wanted to see all the positive comments, right? I wanted to feel good. But to Cate's point, like, I want to see all the negative comments. I want to see like where our customers' expectations are and where we fell short and how to fix that, right? So we can meet our customers where we're at.
I love that. I'm not sure how many brands are actually tracking the LTV from customer service. That's super smart. And also, I think for B2B SaaS companies like Siena, like the way you operate and you view customer service is such an inspiration. Like, as you said, like, I want every single part of what we're building to be impacted by what a customer said. And this is exactly what we're doing, like, every single day, whether it's the sales team, the customer success team, the founder team, like going on calls with customers, so we make time. That's the biggest priority, and it's so important. Awesome. Michael, before implementing AI, that sounded... Michael, okay. You're not in trouble. Okay. What was your perception of AI before implementing it? Did you see it as a hype or truly transformative?
So I thought the potential was there, but I had actually tried two other vendors prior to Siena beforehand, and I was let down by each one of those vendors. I'm not going to name names, but what we had found were many of these were glorified chatbots, right, that claim that they had AI in there, but there was no, when a customer came in through that channel, it would have a pre-scripted response. And that same response went out to every single customer. So there's no AI to it. The only AI that was there was to detect what the customer's concern was and say, okay, now it needs to follow this flow. And so I was optimistic, and when vetting different platform providers, such as Siena, we knew that we wanted to do something different. We were also fearful of the risk involved with AI. It's a true risk, right? And so, I don't know if you want me to tell, I'm gonna tell it anyways.
Go for it.
We passed on Siena the first round. And we were disappointed by that vendor that we chose after the fact. Our decision to move over to Siena after the fact was easy because they were acquired by Gladly, if you guys know who that vendor is. But we knew that we had to get off, but we also knew that we wanted to do something different, right? We knew that we wanted to build an experience that had, yes, a little bit of risk, but huge reward to it, right? I wanted to create a personalized experience for our customers, and that was only possible due to a platform such as Siena that would create a true generative response to a customer via the channels that we're supporting.
Awesome. What's life without a little bit of risk? What about you, Cate? What motivated you to start exploring AI solutions? And do you feel like your initial vision shaped how did your initial vision shape your requirements when you were assessing?
Yeah, I mean, I think we went through initially what a lot of companies go through, right? Like, we're just scaling exponentially, and to continue just hiring in-house gets, financially irresponsible, more or less. And we had been hearing a lot about AI, right? Like, we've all been hearing about AI for years, and it became very evident that this wasn't going to be just kind of a flash in the pan trend, right? This is something that's coming for better or for worse. And I think one of my responsibilities as a leader in my organization is to investigate any new technology, any new innovation, to be sure that I'm doing the best service I can to my company. So it was interesting, with Siena, I feel like I've demoed every AI platform out there.
And you still do?
I do. I do.
love that.
I do. Yeah.
It's literally up to date with everything that's going on.
You have to. It's total side note, but I had first looked at BPO support back in 2020, wasn't super impressed by what was out there. And then when I kind of evaluated Horatio a little over a year ago, I was like, oh shit, why didn't I do this sooner, you know? So I've kind of taken that lesson to heart, and I do my best to stay on top of things. It's nearly impossible, right? It's like a new company emerging with AI at the end every day. But you know, with Siena, we did kind of this deep dive, right, in the types of tickets that we were getting, and we figured at the very least, you know, Siena could take over all the one-touch tickets. You know, where's my order, whatever. You know, we all know what I mean. But we did this whole evaluation, and what appealed to me about Siena was much like Michael, you know, the truly generative capabilities, right? As I mentioned, I work in complex hardware. You know, our machines are IoT connected, complex hardware. And I thought, okay, we'll bring in an AI tool to kind of handle the low lift tickets, freeing up our human staff for kind of everything else. But what we learned really quickly was that Siena can do the complex stuff. It was shocking to me. Like, just going through things, we turned our automations on slowly and QA'd everything, but realizing it actually has the ability to go back and forth and back and forth. And I don't have to build out all of those flows, because with a complex product, you know, a customer can come to me and say, my machine's not brewing, and it could have 15 different reasons why it's doing that. I don't know if it would be humanly possible to kind of like build that out in decision tree format. But with Siena, you know, we were able to teach it from so many sources. You know, it has our knowledge base, it has automations, it has our instruction manuals, it has our website, you know, and then it continuously learns from itself as well. So what, you know, really surprised me, like my expectations was that it could do like the single touch tickets, but what it's actually been able to do has been so much more than that. And that's been a pleasant surprise. Definitely exceeded expectations on that front.
So one of the things that Cate doesn't talk about is that Cate gave me early access to her implementation prior to us going live with Siena. And I was going through some of the conversations that Siena was handling, and this customer wrote in about a water filter. And the customer said, the water filter looks like it was shipped without the O-ring on there. And had included a picture, and Siena's response was, looking at the photo that you sent, it does look like it was missing the O-ring. I've gone ahead and reshipped out replacement filters for you. And I questioned this to both, I think, Lisa and Cate, and I was like, did it actually look at the image and know, or did it just agree with the customer and sent out a replacement? Sure enough, Siena did look at the photo, it analyzed the photo and said, oh, it is missing an O-ring. Let's go ahead and send a replacement. That should solve the issue.
And that was crazy. We never taught it that. You know, we don't have an automation for water filter arrives without an O-ring. If it's true, do this. If it's false, do this. It just kind of picked that up. And it's been wild to watch. Like, we've been on Siena now for coming up on a year and a half. And the advancements that the Siena team has made and the product team has made has blown my mind. Like, I'm kicking myself. Like, why did I not invest in Siena?
Oh, you're gonna just make me cry. I love this. Thank you for sharing. Michael, I know you have like a great perspective on this. With AI being the top of the town, what drew you to choosing a specialized standalone AI solution versus a help desk AI add-on?
So for us, for me at least, I've always looked at, like, I love our help desk that we use, and I have no complaints about it. But for me, I don't want a help desk that has engineers focused on multiple things, right? I think of it like a TV with a DVD player built into it. It was an okay TV and it was an okay DVD player, but it wasn't great at doing both, right? And so I knew that I wanted a dedicated platform that is going to continuously evolve and be focused around evolving the platform around AI. And that's the main reason why I chose a standalone product such as Siena, because I knew that it was going to continuously evolve.
Amazing. I will move on a little bit from the buying journey to the post-purchase ramp up, team integration. So Cate, once you chose Siena, how did you roll it out internally? I remember we still are very impressed by your team, but we were like loving how you just handled the entire process, and would love us if you can walk us through it.
Yeah, for sure. It's funny. The Siena team offers a lot of support. They offered us a ton of help in the beginning, but my colleague and I were so excited. We just like worked over a whole weekend and built out this crazy automation library because we didn't want to wait. We just wanted to get started, and it was super easy. But Siena has the ability to turn everything on via internal notes only. So that's what we did at first. Nothing was sending live to customers. But one thing we did very early that I think served us well, we created a Slack channel specifically for everybody on our CX team. And it was like our Siena QA channel because we realized, no one person, I don't know, maybe people don't sleep, but, no one person could ever QA everything live. But, if we harness the power of the team, we could. So what we did, we'd all kind of just see the internal notes coming in. And as we noticed, oh, it needs a little tweak here, or this wasn't super correct, we would post it in the Slack channel. And then I and my colleague would go in and refine the automations as necessary. So I think that was one thing that was really helpful, is getting everybody's eyes on it and kind of just using all of our agents to fact check us more or less. And from there, we started turning things on gradually. We noticed, for example, like Siena was doing everything right on, milk issues, right, on the machine. So we would turn that automation on. And we also, we keep a really close eye on everything that changes in our business. For every new SOP we make, for every new, sale we have to train our Siena as well, as though it's another member of our team. And I think that's, common misconception sometimes with AI. People think it's like you train it up, you set it, you forget it. But no, if you wanted to learn, you have to consistently be training it. And another thing that we did that I love, and our Horatio team loves as well, we created a Slack channel called Ask Siena. So it has Siena linked up to the Slack channel, and if one of our team members is struggling with an inbound or just wants to learn more about something, it goes, they go to that channel, and you can just have a two-way conversation with Siena. Ask Siena, what would you say to this? And ask it a question, say like, well, where did you get that information from? And it's something that we utilize a lot. Siena has like a back-end tool. What is it? The AI assist, right? Where you can go and ask it, why did you answer the question this way? And it will tell you. And you say, well, where did you get that information from? And it'll tell you. And you say, well, I wanted you to say this. What should I do? And it will tell you, go here, here, and here, and you'll get the result you want. So it's been a very iterative process for us. And it's been uniquely powerful, I think, in onboarding our new team members, whether they're internal or, at Horatio, in just giving them like the confidence of how to answer these deeply technical questions, but in a human way.
Thank you for sharing. I love the Ask Siena Slack hack. I love that. And as a side note, so the way Siena works is like a human agent that takes a seat inside of your ticketing system and starts working alongside the other team members. So it's definitely the opposite of how we were used to automated chatbots so far, that just work as a more like a satellite, outside of the team. So that's what Cate refers to as like training it as a real human. And amazing. Michael, what about you? What steps did you take to get your entire team on board? Especially if I'm curious if there was any skepticism.
I don't know if there was skepticism, but one thing that when I was going through all my demos and sales pitches of different AI tools, one thing that I got from these calls that I was reference calls that I was having was like, no matter what tool you have, you want to have a dedicated AI specialist, someone that could train your AI tool or spend the time to. And so we knew that going into it. And then going back to the video that was shown, like we told our agents, like, hey, AI is not here to replace you, right? It's here to make your job easier. And we showed them how Copilot works, where an agent can put in a response in the help desk and hit one button and it polishes up the response. We showed them how internal notes looked. And so I think agents were more open to using or working alongside AI because they knew it was going to help them out. There are so many tickets that I'll go in, and the note in there is that Siena responded and sent the correct response, closing ticket. Nothing makes me happier.
I do love your team, Michael. They got all certified, and even today I sent an invite to a new member, so I love it. What about for anyone in the room that's new to AI or maybe to actual like AI agents, post ramp up, what is one thing that you wish you knew before you started?
I think I wish I had known how quickly the product was going to evolve. We had a very long period of convincing our leadership team and our finance team that we should move in this direction. And it was a very clear value proposition, and we ran the numbers accordingly. But I actually wish I had more visibility into the roadmap. I think it would have been a much quicker conversation.
Andre, wink, wink.
No pressure.
Michael, I think people often focus on how many tickets AI can fully resolve, but how else are you measuring AI's impact?
So what we started doing at HexClad is we measure CSAT for Siena. We also measure handle time of an agent, and so we'll be able to tag a conversation as Siena assisted, or anytime an agent uses Copilot, a tag goes on the conversation, and so we can actually see the handle time of these conversations done or assisted by Siena and finished by a rep. And so being able to look at the time savings that your AI tool is providing, not necessarily just like what is the deflection rate or how many tickets is it handling, right? It's ultimately like your return on investment is like also inclusive of like what is the cost savings to the business where the agent can then focus on different tickets, more complex tickets. That was another thing that I didn't mention was like AI allows our agents that are focused on our product to be able to handle the more complex issues. Yes, Siena can start that conversation and handle it, but I never expect Siena to handle from start to finish the entire conversation, right, on those complex tickets, because there is a human element that is needed. And I think that's a misconception out there, is that your AI tool is going to handle, the goal is to handle all of your tickets. And for us, that's not the case.
Cate, what about the results that you are seeing? How do you feel like Siena has freed up your team's time? Are you, as a team, able to be more proactive or strategic?
Oh my God, yeah. I mean, when we kind of relooked at our customer journey, we evaluated every touch point that a community member has with our brand. From the time that they learn that we exist, all the way down through their life cycle, when maybe they're referring their friends and family. And the consistent element of that was that we always found opportunities for improvement, but we didn't have the bandwidth to tackle them. And it honestly broke my heart, which sounds so dramatic, but I love my job, I love my company. And it killed me to know that we can make all these improvements, but we don't have the time or the money to do it. So I think what's been really powerful in bringing on Siena and bringing on Horatio has really been how we've been able to kind of refocus our time internally to tackle all of the things that were on our list for literally years. So I have my internal team kind of divided into two sections. There's the community section, and that person oversees brand partnerships, social, co-branded content, our beta groups, our insiders groups. They're able to oversee all of that. And then on the other side, I have the other half of the team focused on product. So they're the ones, feeding feedback back into our engineering team. They're the ones that are submitting ECRs to get new features built. They're the ones that are handling all the, the community surveys that enable us to collect feedback, to give back. And it's given my team so much time back. And I think what's really cool about CX, especially, if you're on the front lines, you're collecting feedback. Like if you're working, you're collecting feedback. And to me, the saddest thing would be if you're able to collect all this feedback and then it just lives and dies within the team. You have to feed it back into the rest of the organization, and working with a powerful AI tool has allowed us to actually do that in a way that has moved the needle and, brought us closer than ever to our community.
So we have 2 seconds left, but I will ask for a plus 2 minutes extension here, because I do want to talk a little bit about how should brands think about the AI and BPO collaboration, because that's why we're here. We've partnered up with Horatio and we're super excited about some of the things that we're cooking together. So I would love to hear from Cate and then Michael, how does Horatio team fit into your AI workflows? Do you have any tips on driving this collaboration?
Yeah, for sure. So I think, I've already mentioned a couple of the ways, right? We have our Ask Siena Slack channel where our Horatio team can go and ask questions and have conversations with Siena. We also have, everybody's just on QA duty all the time. If Siena says something funky, it's reported to the team, we go and we fix it. But we actually just recently started working on a pilot with our Horatio team. They've gotten Siena certified as well, and they're just looking at our entire Siena backend, top to bottom, QAing it, offering their thoughts and optimizations. AI, I don't think we're anywhere close to it actually taking over all of the human elements of CX. But I think when you can combine, high quality associates with AI, that's where the magic happens. That's where you can really create a best in class customer journey. So, I think, honestly, what Horatio is doing is really smart. I can see a lot of BPOs out there fighting against AI, thinking, AI is coming for all our jobs, and maybe it is, but it's going to either way. So let's figure out how to leverage it, make it work for us, become experts in that field, and just get ahead of the trends with innovation.
Yeah, and I think for us, I remember when I still respond to customers, but I still use Copilot to help me draft some of my responses, right? Because an agent will respond to what they think is their 900th, where's my order ticket, and be so frustrated because they want to customize their response, but have ran out of different ways of customizing their response because of the 899 other emails that they sent, right? And so working alongside of an AI tool that's going to assist the agent and be able to allow an agent to copy and paste their standardized response in there and say, hey, help me polish this, help me customize this to what the customer came in with, right? It's working alongside and assisting the agent. Additionally, to Cate's point about internal notes, you're also educating your agent at the same time, right? An agent might have forgotten the SOPs for handling a return that's 4 days outside of the return window. Siena will put an internal note in there saying hey, here's what I'm suggesting. And then the agent could be oh yeah, that's how I should be handling this ticket.
Yeah, and the truth is that we sometimes also run out of coffee, and Siena doesn't. So
I got you if you're running out of coffee.
Yes, yeah. Just go to Cate. She will help us. Awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'll just cut it short now. But are there any questions from you guys? Bill.
This is probably more for Michael or Cate. I'm curious, before you guys partnered with Siena, did you guys do some type of a pre-Siena analysis of your KPIs? What's the current handle time? What does CSAT look like by channel? Things like that. I'm curious if you could just talk for a minute about where you were pre-Siena versus where you are today.
Yeah, we did a deep dive. And I think, like I said, I think we had a lot of convincing to do on the finance side of things. And I think it's hard to say what can be attributed to what, because we implemented Siena and then we partnered with Horatio about 5 months later. I can tell you between December of 2023 and December of 2024, we have cut average response time by 93%. 93%, yeah. Our CSAT has gone up by 18% year over year, and our volume has tripled. So take that for what you will. Maybe it's just the magic combo of Siena and Horatio, but we are a virtually different organization than we were before. And like I said to you, part of our evaluation was determining how many of our tickets we think Siena could handle, and we just kind of said, all right, all the one-touch stuff, that's really easy, but it's actually become far more than that.
Yeah, for us, we took a very similar approach. We looked at what are the one-touch tickets that we think Siena could handle. I remember when Lisa came in and demoed Siena to us, and there was something that she was showing where it was like this imaginary customer had a birthday scheduled for Saturday, or their birthday was going to be on Saturday, and they ordered something on Monday, and they reached out and said, hey, I ordered a birthday gift for myself that I'm hoping will arrive in time for the party on Saturday. Can you tell me if it will be here? And Siena's response was, happy early birthday. It looks like the tracking information from UPS shows this. And I was blown away by it because, like, our agents, their job is to answer the question. It's not to wish a customer a happy birthday, although I want them to wish them a happy birthday. But we did also see CSAT go up about 10 points across various different channels. We saw handle time drop down a little bit, but it's hard because Jeff doesn't like me for this, but like I have a tendency of bringing on new tools and acting quickly. And so at the same time we brought on Siena, we also brought on Hark. And so it's hard to exactly put our fingers on what exactly caused our handle time to drop down. But all in all, we've seen great success with it. And I think for me, the biggest success and the biggest beacon to us doing the right thing is I think it was 2 or 3 months ago where we saw a customer review talk about Haley C, about the way that she took care of the customer's concern. And Haley C is one of our avatar names for Siena. And I was like, this is what I'm talking about. Like, if a customer is so emotionally driven to the experience that they had to leave a positive review about an AI tool, like they had no idea that Haley C was an AI tool. That's how we know we're doing it right.
Woo! Thank you. Really appreciate your time. If anyone has any other questions, you can find us at the only booth at this conference, the Siena booth.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.